Hey everybody, and the year is now wrapping up, and I recently finished watching every film of the Disney animated canon, and also ranked them all from worst to best, with The Little Mermaid ranked at the bottom, and everyone loved me for that. On to my next video, especially seeing as I got an early Christmas present. Dear Ed, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. I hope you get hit unconscious on the head. For me, Dennis?
Yeah, screw you! I like the living company!
Well, I certainly can't complain about getting free crap. Hopefully it's not another bad animated kids movie. Believe me, reviewing one earlier this year was enough. Damn it. Well, it's that time of year again. The holiday season is now upon us, the temperature is freezing beyond belief, it's now snowing in one way or another, and consumerism reigns supreme. Now, one of my favorite parts of Christmas is not just listening to some of the greatest Yuletide tunes, watching some feature-length classics, whilst explaining why Gremlins and Die Hard are not Christmas movies, they originally released in summer and their plots have screw all to do with Christmas. It's like calling this part of the Disney animated canon. But one of the things I look forward to most is watching all the animated specials. The Snowman, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Mickey's Christmas Carol, and by far my all-time favorite Christmas movie has got to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Such a delightfully charming film with the stop-motion animation, the characters, and all the songs. It's a really cozy watch, taking me back to simpler times. I first saw this movie 5 years ago. But I did get my kick at the Red-Nosed Reindeer as a kid, and you don't want to know how. In 1998, a studio named Good Times Entertainment released a 2D film of Rudolph, and to nobody's surprise, it commercially didn't do very well. When these were its competition, it was kinda to be expected. They did do work on a sequel to the film, but then gained the rights to the Rankin Bass classic to make a film a follow-up to the 1964 film. It was released straight to video in 2001, and was it the smash hit Good Times Entertainment anticipated? This DVD came free with the newspaper. One day in the 2000s, the Daily Mail threw this film for completely free, and as the dumb kid who didn't know any better, I watched this film all the time leading up to Christmas. Though I did forget about it for some years, I eventually watched it again, and it's now a tradition for me to watch this every Christmas morning, even after watching the infinitely better classic. So today, we're going to be heading to the island of Misfit toys to see if it really is the classic I remember it as, or if it ends up being like Home on the Range all over again. We start the film, and my god, how many studios worked on this? Let's see where they all are today. Why am I not surprised? If you could have picked an interesting font for your credits, why even bother running 4 different companies? We then see toys get lured by a flute melody played by a mysterious figure, or as the film likes to call him,
The Toy Taker.
I am so scared. He then goes around the world stealing toys, and before we move on, let's address the elephant in the room, the animation. The poorly rendered CGI that wouldn't look too out of place in a Vaporwave video, made by a low-budget studio just 6 years after the original Toy Story came out. Can you believe that this film looks better than Earwig and the Witch? We cut to our host Scoop T. Snowman, voiced by none other than Richard Dreyfuss. You know, the marine biologist from Jaws, where he begins to tell us about how Rudolph and his friends just stopped the Toy Taker. Well, thanks for spoiling the ending, you jerk. I hope the sun comes out to melt you. We then see Rudolph, Santa, Hermie, Clarice, and the rest then set up for decorating the Christmas tree, whilst Tony Bennett performs a swing cover of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because Frank Sinatra Jr. wasn't returning their calls. Hey, wait a minute, why is Rudolph suddenly young with his antlers? Didn't he grow up in the original movie? Inside, Rudolph gets encouraged by everyone to light up the disco ball. But the power goes out, and Rudolph and Santa head down to sort things out with help from Rudolph's nose. There wasn't any point to this scene, was there? At the party, Rudolph feels bummed about how everyone knows him for his nose, and wishes that he had a normal nose. Yeah, cause this is way better than when everyone insulted and alienated you for the exact same reason in the original. Those were the days. But outside, he spends time with Clarice getting close together, whilst a whiny voice sings the most generic song you can get about flying.
If we could fly away, together we'll fly someday.
The two set a date as a kite from the island of Misfit Toys, who's afraid of heights, comes to notify Hermie that King Moonraiser has a toothache. So the next day, Rudolph, Hermie, and the kite head out to the island of Misfit Toys, and on the way, Rudolph discusses about wanting to be normal and Hermie having a crush on the Tooth Fairy. Have they even seen the first movie? They then sing about it being okay to stand out and reach the island, only for the film to have another repetitive song. Let the film breathe! Oh, are they on the island of Misfit Toys?
On the island of Misfit Toys. Oh, the island of Misfit Toys.
Thank you. Haven't the lyrics just consist of the word toys, not held by its grating melody? You'll be hearing this song in your dreams.
Toys, 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 toys. We're on the island of Misfit Toys.
You want to know how many times the word toy was said in this film? Yes, I counted. I would not recommend a drinking game for every time they say the word toy in the whole movie, as you would probably die from alcohol poisoning at this point.
Toys, toys, toys. We're on the island of Misfit Toys. Toys, 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 toys.
And you know what it is, though? A hell of a lot better than Under the Sea! They get acquainted with the toys such as an empty piggy bank, binoculars that can't see, and a boomerang that doesn't come back. Get out of this movie whilst you still can. Rudolph and Hermie meet King Moonraiser, as Hermie then gives him a root canal. Afterwards, the reindeer and elf then head back, but face a storm with a glacier hit that unironically looks better than most of the MCU's visual effects nowadays. Rudolph saves Hermie and uses his nose to find land nearby, making it to Castaway Cove, where gingerbread guardsmen take the two deep into the island to meet
A monster.
Queen Camilla, voiced by Academy Award-winning Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode herself, which is pretty surprising to see on her resume, but at the same time, it isn't. If anything, she looks like something Laurie Strode would run away from in the Halloween movies. After a brief misunderstanding, Rudolph and Hermie get to know each other with this thing, with Queen Camilla specializing on repairing toys, and starts singing about how everything is beautiful. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. She offers Rudolph to make his nose normal, which he seriously ponders about. Back in Santa's village, the elves are put on guard for his toys with the toy taker on the loose, and coincidentally, the toy taker steals everything. With how bad Santa's security is, they were kind of asking for it. Queen Camilla then repairs Hermie's van, with the two heading back, and Rudolph makes it to his date with Clarice. He tells her about sorting his nose, who she likes the way it is. To help give Clarice her wings to fly, Rudolph confesses his love to her that makes her soar up. What the hell are you talking about? You two got close together in the original and even kissed under the mistletoe. You're practically married! The coach then alerts the two that the toy taker took all of Santa's toys, with Santa saying,
I'm afraid it's going to be a toyless Christmas this year.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Well, that was a short movie in conclusion.
God damn it, they don't lose hope. They investigate the warehouse and discover a bit of stuffing, whilst Hermie and his old boss bicker about him opening a dentist office. Even though he was perfectly fine with this at the end of the last movie, are you beginning to see a pattern here? They then narrow down where the toy taker will strike next, with Castaway Cove and the island of Misfit Toys. With the Peppermint Mine closed, Cornelius and Bumbles then join the team to Castaway Cove. Comic Sans. In a hidden lair, we see the toy taker voiced by Rick Moranis and all the toys he stole, who justifies his actions that their children will outgrow them and he'll look after them through song, who even references Gandhi for no apparent reason.
My modus operandi is influenced by Gandhi.
It's by far the best song in the film, which isn't really saying much now, is it?
The world is cruel. The world is wicked.
Rudolph and gang unfortunately reach Castaway Cove too late, with all of Camilla's toys stolen by guess who? And with that, Rudolph, Clarice, Hermie, Cornelius, and Bumbles then head to the island of Misfit Toys disguised as toys, mostly, to sneak on his blimp. Except Bumbles, who's too big. Yet he still follows the blimp regardless. Come on, Toy Taker, if Ridley could be at Smash Brothers, why can't Bumbles be on your stupid blimp? This is all we see of the Island of Misfit Toys in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. Why is it part of the title when it plays such little significance in the plot when the Toy Taker is right there? It's like making the subtitle of Spider-Man 2 Pizza Time!
To think I'll watch this and not Frozen 2.
Anyhow, Rudolph and friends in the blimp try to help everyone escape, but the kite calls them out with the Toy Taker kicking them out as Rudolph bumps his head trying to get back inside. But Clarice saves him, now earning her wings.
You can already fly!
Cornelius chases the Toy Taker and his cleats damage the blimp. The boomerang hits him, throwing him off as Rudolph and Clarice corner the Toy Taker only to further follow him. The blimp prepares to make a crash landing, but Bumbles comes to save them. The film then turns to Donkey Kong Country as Rudolph and Clarice chase the Toy Taker in minecarts in the Peppermint Mine. Everyone else catches up from the nth dimension as Rudolph and Cornelius finally catch the Toy Taker, who turns out to be a teddy bear named Mr. Cuddles.
Please don't have him sing his backstory. Please don't have him sing his backstory. Son of a gun!
We learn through song that Mr. Cuddles was a present from Santa who was once loved by a boy named Steven, who over time gets forgotten as he grew up and then got thrown out. A toy that was once loved and then abandoned by their kid. No one ever heard that before. With that, he became the Toy Taker just so other toys around the world wouldn't face the same fate, which somehow manages to make everyone tear up. Are you crapping me? This guy stole toys all over the world. He single-handedly caused more damage to this planet than the Third Impact ever could. Lock this bear up for Christ's sake. But no, they're letting him off the hook because get this.
Stephen never meant to throw you away. He was saving you as a family heirloom.
Then why did he throw him out?
I can't believe how f***ing stupid this movie is! They're giving this criminal mastermind a second chance in life just because he sung a sad song. What about all the other toys he stole? Don't they deserve to be returned to their kids? And again, why did Steven throw him out when he called him a family heirloom? Like, this whole movie could have been prevented. It's like...
Anyhow, Queen Camilla then repairs Mr. Cuddles as good as new, and Rudolph decides to keep his nose the way it is, learning the same lesson from the original movie. With that, Santa, Rudolph, and the reindeer head out to deliver toys around the world as everyone sings about this being the best goddamn Christmas ever, whilst Hermie gets a date from the Tooth Fairy. Santa delivers Mr. Cuddles to Steven's daughter, only to inevitably face her outgrowing him, reliving his heartbreak, making Mr. Cuddles thrilled beyond belief. Why does Steven look like Butthead? Santa flies off, and we get an after-credit scene of Hermie giving his old boss a root canal. We gained nothing out of this scene, did we?
And I think the same could be said for this entire movie. Rudolph learns the exact same lesson about embracing his nose from the original. The expansions the film makes to it, such as the Toy Taker and Queen Camilla, are dumb enough to make cars doing Ralph Breaks the Internet look like The Empire Strikes Back. It's as clear as crystal the writers didn't watch the original movie they bought the rights to make a sequel of. With glaring plot holes and questionable continuity errors, the songs are horribly grating, and do I even need to explain the hideous animation? So, all in all, it's a train wreck of a sequel only made to cash in on the classic, and nothing more. But damn it, I can't help but love it. The animation, well, that speaks for itself. It's oddly endearing seeing a film made back when mainstream 3D animation was still in its infancy, the characters are surprisingly enjoyable, the songs are often better than they had any right to be, and ultimately, it helps keep the magic of Christmas I had as a kid alive whenever I watch it every Christmas morning, taking me back to those simpler times. As much as I'd like to banish it to the torture room for its unoriginality and piss-poor production values, it holds too much nostalgia for me to do it. You can say whatever you want about this film, and I'll agree, it's terrible from a critical perspective, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys will always hold an oddly special place in my heart. Please send help. Hey, Anomaly. Walter, what are you doing here?
Well, you managed to go a couple hundred subscribers without tearing the fabric of space and time, so... well done, I guess.
What are you trying to tell me?
I've been doing some thinking, and well,
So you're telling me...
yes, you can time travel again.
You serious?
Just don't screw up the stability of time and space again, okay?
Yeah, sure. Just let me check. My intergalactic curfew is over! It's a Christmas miracle!
Now be very careful with your ability.
Oh man, there's so much I could do. I could get soda for a nickel. I could tell Blue Sky Studios not to make Rio. I could make self-lacing shoes in 2015 for Back to the Future reality. Stack up on GameCube games for a fraction of their price. I could prevent George Lucas.
Enough to this, I've got that Deadpool and Wolverine to take care of right about now.
And there's so much more! I can't wait for what I'll do next! Mark my words, for 2025 will be the year of Ow! Well, thanks for sticking around this long into the video, and I just want to thank you all so much for watching my content throughout this year. It's been quite a ride. I managed to pump out a reasonable amount of videos alongside my Silly Symphony Chronicles shorts. I finally reached 500 subscribers, thank you all so much again. Nintendo had a surprisingly strong lineup of games on the Switch despite the successor on the way. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 got re-released, a good amount of Amiibo got restocked, we got a really good Transformers movie for once. And my DVD packaging video blew up for some reason. Next year, there's plenty to look forward to, seeing the Switch successor exist, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, getting GTA 6 so people can shut up about it before inevitably moving on to requesting GTA 7, a remake of How to Train Your Dragon. Why? I'll of course make more content. I could move over into covering Looney Tunes cartoons for my shorts. I might start posting updates and memes more frequently on Blue Sky as opposed to X, so consider following there. I might rebrand my channel a bit, and don't worry, my content will still be the same as before. And in the coming weeks, I might take a bit of a break from making videos after this hectic year, and we'll just have to see what next year will have in store for us. But until then, happy holidays, thank you for watching my content throughout 2024, and I'll see you all in 2025.